Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lanks here with another replay for you. I've got one from the Dreamhack Open between HuK and Dayshi. This would be Dayshi in the top left here, Millennium Dayshi. So he's a French player, pretty well known. He's up in Masters. He's pretty damn good, or Grandmasters actually, I believe. We got everyone knows HuK. He's in the bottom right here. He's a pretty famous Canadian player. He's got a lot of wins under his belt. Known for doing some pretty aggressive, tricky play in the early game, so we'll see how that paces off against Dayshi. I don't really know anything about Dayshi when it comes to his opening gameplay or what kind of strategies he favors, but we will see as we go along. So, early game is going to be pretty important in a map like this. I mean, you know where your opponent is, and your natural is very easy to take, so it's quite simple to do a macro opening. Ooh, my mouse is sensitive. There we go. So yeah, you can do a macro opening and get a good economic advantage, whereas if your opponent expands and you don't, you might be able to pressure them and just win the game right off the bat. Pretty hard to do these days. It's basically an all-in, but when you know exactly where your opponent is, you can do that kind of stuff. Nothing worse than building up a all-in kind of attack and going for the wrong location on the minimap. Just emphasizes the importance of scouting. Scouting is key in this game, as everyone knows, from bronze up to the Grandmasters. So both players opening pretty standard. We've got a Rax first here instead of a CC first, so he's going to be doing some sort of early aggression most likely, otherwise he probably would have just gone straight for a CC first. Protoss can't really do a whole lot of aggression really early. It's not like you're going to be facing a 6-spool or anything of the sort. And of course if you go 2 gateways then a Cyber, then you're going to have no Stalkers, and against Terran that's suicide. So we've got a refinery coming down as well. Could be going for a Reaper opening or possibly just straight into factory. We'll see when he gets that orbital command. That's going to be one of the big hints here. Now we got double gas from HuK, which is quite interesting. So likely going to be opening up with either a whole lot of Stalkers or Mothership Core very quickly, and then into some sort of tech. Could be air, but we'll see. He's got 2 workers on each, so not 3, so he's not fully committing to this. And Dayshi is still sucking on 1 refinery. He's not going up to 2, so he's probably not going to be advancing against tech anything. He's got 1 marine shooting down these rocks, so it's going to take quite a while. It's got that natural 1 armor, so just 5 damage a shot. Let's see if he goes for a CC, or if he's just going to be picking up marines. There we go. So it looks like some sort of expansion coming on. Will be a reactor or a tech lab, or nothing. He's got the money for it. I don't know what the weight is. There we go. So getting a reactor. So going to be probably doing just extra marines. He might be switching it out for a factory a little later on, though he should be building that right now if he had the extra gas. His scout didn't really see a whole lot over here. Let's take a look. He managed to get into the base. Saw about the gas actually. So that's pretty key. So he knows that there's some sort of tech coming up. Now HuK may play right into this, or he may switch out. It looks like he's sitting at a probe here, maybe going for an expansion, checking for any bunkers. Just want to, put down his Nexus and quickly lose it to some bunkered Marines. Still only 2 Marines up here, but I mean they'll be able to hold off against really anything important, like say a Stalker. Good reactions there with the SCV, running him back towards the base so he can get another scout in before he dies. And yeah, nothing really amazing here. We've got our robotics coming through and the militia cores to finish, but nothing totally out of the ordinary. No double Stargate craziness or lots of gateways into a 4-gate or something. He's getting his warp gate done, as per usual, pretty early. Looks like Dayshi is going for a factory, and he's getting a starport now, so it's looking like some sort of 1-1-1 build. We'll see where he goes, so that might go for a just a plain old bio attack, or maybe supplement it with some spider mines. So, or widow mines. Widow mines are one of my favorite units still, just because they're so damn sneaky and they're fun. But you need to use them either against a really stupid opponent in an obvious way, or use them really sneakily against a smart opponent. Now, these are both really high-level players, so you're going to be very, very clever with your placement of mines. Obviously, against Protoss, they get an observer, and you're pretty much, well, they're screwed. Those mines will just die. They're really only good against Zealots. Everything else will take them out from range. Now, the obs here, if it's in with the units, can be very useful. Of course, if your observer isn't in the right spot, it's no good. But it looks like it's going with the Marines, the widow mine that is, so the observer's going to have to stick at the front lines to avoid any kind of shenanigans there. We don't have, or do we? We've got a medevac coming out, so we could do a mine drop if he decides to wait a bit, but I don't think he's going to. Widow mine walking in, hopefully gonna burrow before anything sees it. Oh, and we got the next overcharge. So that widow mine, unburrowing, which is not smart. almost got killed there by the next overcharge. Observers coming down with that obs in place. I mean, there's no real way for those Widowmines to do anything unless HuK makes a mistake. HuK's going to have to be careful not to lose his observer to a well-placed scan or, you know, walk his stalkers into the mines even with the line of sight. But I could trust HuK's micro enough that he's not going to kneel as they walk into range there and takes them both out. Or he may have missed one there to the... Oh, that was just 8 Marines. Just 8 Marines, and that's a lot of Marines. But those Marines don't have stim or shield, so they really aren't all that dangerous on their own. And he really should be taking them back. I don't know how he's going to stop all these stalkers. All he's got is a Widowmine and a handful of Marines. Not nearly enough. Widowmine's burrow, but with that observer there, he's not really going to be able to do a whole lot about it. One Widowmine goes off, takes out a stalker, not bad. Almost kills off the obs too. That would have been disastrous. That flat 40 damage can be pretty damn deadly. And I don't really know what Dayshi can do about this. I mean, his units are all in the wrong spot, and they died horribly trying to drop, and he calls the GG. So it looks like that's game. So there you go. You can see exactly how Widowmines don't work. If your opponent is smart and he gets observers, then you're pretty much screwed. So don't do that. Play defensively. Don't run those guys up in front when there's an obs just calling line of sight for everything. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed that one. I'll be bringing out a couple more from the Dreamhack Open. There's another few HuK games, as well as a bunch of other really good players. So I'm going to try to get through as many as possible, as quickly as possible. So I'll be casting a few more over the next few days.